The Strictly contest kicked off in style on Saturday night with a whole new host of celebs showing off their incredible dance moves. Tom Fletcher opened the show, John and Johannes wowed with Strictly's first all-male dance, and Rose received a standing ovation as the first deaf contestant with her incredible performance to shake it off. It's such a strong group of contestants. I didn't think there was one person who made me cringe to watch or anything. I thought they were all really...
Yeah, none of that. No watching through your fingers this year, was there? No. I felt some nerves, though. I definitely sensed that there were some nerves. We can't really imagine what those nerves are like, Emmy, but I think we've got someone with us tonight who can tell us exactly what it's like on our very first Strictly Hello Insider. And our first guest is Kate Silverton, Strictly contestant, broadcaster, and author of the best-selling parenting book, There's No Such Thing as Naughty. Thank you for joining us, Kate.
So nice to be here. What a lovely thing to be doing. We all want to be talking about Strictly, so it was a pleasure to be here.
Emmy and I were just discussing first night nerves, and you, as someone who's experienced it yourself, will know what that first night on Strictly is like. What do you remember?
Well, let me just tell you, I never knew that feet could sweat with nerves. I mean, I was literally sliding in my shoes going, this is bizarre. Like, what is happening? I've never had this before. And then and of course, having written my book now, it's all the stress response. I understand it now, but it is a complete overwhelm of the senses. And I loved, and I think everybody would say this, when you're in rehearsals, it's amazing. And you just get these endorphin highs and you're like training like an athlete and it's just fun. And then it gets to the Friday and the Saturday. And if you are not used to performing, it's hideous. It's hideous and brilliant and beautiful in equal measure.
It's so different, isn't it, to what most people are doing in their everyday life. And do you look at it? Do you watch it on Saturday? I know, like, when I'm watching my kids perform, I almost find it painful because I know what they're feeling. Do you watch it in that way, sort of a different way, thinking, I know what it's like?
Oh, well, I always remember us when we used to stand on the stairs and you're all holding hands and literally almost digging your nails into your partner's hand, and you're just... I used to say to Alice, I'm holding on to you for dear life. I mean, you just literally need to get me through this. So I do think about what it might be like for them before they just come on. And it makes it all the more impressive when you see people who haven't danced before, who haven't performed before, because you know what it's like, to go out there not having really had any formal training and then to sort of do a dance that you've only had to learn in a few days and all the rest of it. Actually, you feel the relief when they finish the dance. I do feel that. And just watching the beauty of it, like Johannes this week and John, I mean, just, divine. Yeah. Everyone makes sure that you feel the best you could possibly feel. I mean, the costumes, Rose's costume on Saturday. I mean, when Shirley said, I thought you're saying what I'm thinking, they do an incredible, job, that team. They work so hard. They're in there constantly. So there's very much a family feel, and it does make you feel really supported and nurtured. So, that really helps.
Watching now, I think that I would feel a little bit wistful, like, especially, because you have this great bond with your partner. Like, watching Aliash now, you're a bit like, oh, I wish it was me again.
Jealous? I mean, he's your partner. What's he doing?
Yeah, no. I mean, no, I'm pleased for them, actually. I would love to dance with Aliash again. I would love to have the experience. We had such a good time. I loved the experience so much, and he was an amazing teacher, very patient and just fun, really good fun.
And I think the two of you had incredible chemistry, actually, and that's sort of, I feel like the first week is all about watching that, isn't it? Watching the different couples' chemistry. I mean, the guys this week, they were amazing, weren't they? The first male coupling that we'd ever seen on Strictly, and their chemistry was, like, from the moment it started, just amazing. And you're sort of watching to see who's going to sizzle. Who stood out to you?
Well, it had to be Johannes and John and Jojo, Team Jojo. I mean, he is such an amazing guy. If I always used to say, I mean, I loved being with Aliash, but if I hadn't have had Aliash, I would have had Johannes. The kindest, most generous spirited and strong. I mean, I did laugh once because he had to pick me up and he just literally threw me up in the air as if I was a feather, about the only man that's probably able to do that. But it was like, and just a gorgeous person. And to sort of see that, and obviously it was very emotional for him coming off that, and for all perhaps the obvious reasons. And I think it'd be really interesting to see their journey now, with the different dances, because obviously that really did suit them. So it'd be interesting to see how other dances fare. I thought Katya and Adam were, woohoo! Yes, I think obviously Adam's one to watch, isn't he? My goodness me.
They went last, didn't they? So as you were saying, yeah, it's a sign that they're the ones to watch.
Yeah, well, Katya's an amazing choreographer as well. So, yeah.
And I thought AJ was fantastic as well. That was incredible routine. For the first week, just like my mind was blown.
Sometimes the judges will sort of, and your technique needs work. You're like, look, mate, seriously, I've been dancing 4 days. Like, really? Yeah, no, go figure. So sometimes you do, I sit there and I have such empathy for people who have not danced before, because you think, I know how hard it is.
And Rose just sort of blew me away. How on earth did she manage? She wasn't off the beat for 1 second, was she? And I was reading that it was all muscle memory, and it's just so wonderful that Giovanni's learned sign language, and like this isn't just a job to them, is it? It's not, the pros aren't just turning up and doing a little dance lesson. This is real commitment. And
and Giovanni, it does what we all really want to do, which is just make things mainstream, so that we can all and to understand things. Then there is no difference if we're understanding how how people sort of operate in different environments. I love it. I'd love to learn more about how she's able to dance in the way that she is, because I think there's a sense of feeling the beat. I'd love to learn more, basically. So I love that Strictly's doing that. I'm sure they're going to reveal a little bit more in the coming weeks.
What you were saying before about having empathy for hearing like the judges' comments, especially this early on, where especially Craig can be quite critical. When you used to hear those things back in the day, was it like, how would you take it? Would you just always take it with a pinch of salt, or would it actually like quite hurt sometimes?
I'm sure
how much hard work you put into it.
I think it's a balance, really, because your head is like, they've got to do their thing, but your heart does say, I've worked really hard this week on something that I've never done before, and actually give us a break, mate. So I think there is an element of that. Actually, and Aliash always said to me, Craig always marks me down, and it was a joke, but actually he did it again this week, and I'm like, that was nowhere 3. Yeah. Was it? It was nowhere 3.
No, not at all. I actually saw Aliash's face of just like,
yeah. and I sometimes I think there's because they know each other really well. They've been good friends for a while. So sometimes I think there's a bit of tormenting on Craig's part. I don't know. I won't cast aspersions. That's their professional thing. But I'm like, there was no way it was a 3. We were sitting there. My son Will was like, that wasn't a 3. So they've been really engaged this year.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Kate. It's a delight. I can't believe it was 3 years ago that you were on Strictly. It feels like just the other day to me.
I said to my husband, he was sitting there, and I said, oh, I'm so glad I did it when I did it, because there's no way I could do it now. It's so intense. Yes. The physicality of it, and I'm sure we could all do things if we're really thrown into it, but I'm glad I did it when I did it. And but I would like one dance, maybe one more dance. I'll have to text Aliash.
We're going to campaign.
Can we do a little hello one or something?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get you back.
Yeah. Lovely to see you.
Thank you so much, Kate.
Thank you.
See you. Bye.
Thank you so much to Kate, and thank you for watching our first Strictly Insider. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for future episodes, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.